You're listening to the IT Career Energizer podcast, episode 11.
Welcome to the IT Career Energizer podcast. For anyone who wants to build and grow a career in IT, develop and improve your strengths and skills, be inspired and motivated by the successes of others, manage your career progression, and achieve your IT career goals. And now, your host, Phil Burgess.
Hi, Phil here, and welcome to episode 11 of the IT Career Energizer podcast, where I chat with inspiring IT professionals, consultants and experts every week. To find out more about the podcast, visit itcareerenergizer.com. And now let's chat with today's featured guest, Michael Lin. Michael is a business advisor who helps tech leaders to develop their business skills. He is also author of the book Career Advancing Secrets for Tech Leaders. And Michael says that his passion is to help ambitious tech leaders to completely upgrade to a new mindset. So Michael, take a moment to expand on that brief bio and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, hi Phil. Yeah. For starters, I think the entire IT industry should thank you for doing this podcast. This is really a giant step toward the right direction.
Thank you. Yes.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Yes. So as for myself, got my bachelor in computer science in the early 90s in Australia, University of New South Wales, and worked in IT for many years. And after I started, I built my own businesses, and I finally got a solid understanding of business and people. And if you think about it, building your own business is really kind of like attending the school of hard knocks. You're forced to deal with people from all walks of life. You make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes. I also talked to plenty of people who are wiser than me, and then I read a massive amount on business, history, biology, human nature, persuasion, negotiation, deal making, and relationship building, etc., etc. I had to. And my friends who are still working in corporate IT, and they started asking me things like, how do you start a business? And then they started asking me how to deal with whatever challenges they were facing working in corporate IT.
Yeah.
So as I was helping them, I realized, all of these business skills and people skills I learned through starting and building my own businesses, they apply directly to anyone who is working in the IT world. And in addition, since I'm a business owner, I can really understand what their upper management was trying to do, which often seemed like a puzzle to my friends who have never had a business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what triggered me to redirect my passion into helping tech professionals, because I myself came from a very humble background. I was born in China, and I'm twice the immigrant. First time moved to Australia.
Yeah.
Second time moved to the U.S. So I just love helping people to excel. I'm a developer. I'm a developer of people to their fullest potential. Yeah. So and I wrote a few books, 4 books so far, and the last book is the 4th book is Career Advancing Secrets for Tech Leaders: How to Turn the Table and Shift the Game in your favor.
Okay, can you tell us, or maybe share with us, a unique career tip that the IT Career Energizer audience need to know and probably don't?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. This is what I tell my consulting clients all the time. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but the thing is, if you really think about it, every bit of career success you have had up to this point of your life is due to the fact that you treated your career like a business, either intentionally or unintentionally. And every bit of obstacle you faced in the past or you're currently facing right now, and every bit of a struggle you're facing is due to the fact that you are either intentionally or unintentionally treating your IT career like a hobby. Hobby, hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me explain. Let me explain using some analogies or metaphors. Okay. let's say we have a Boeing 747 pilot, okay. In his private life, okay, he owns a little airplane and he flies it, okay, for his personal joy, okay. He can fly it, however he wants, he can fly it upside down. He feels like it, okay. But the thing is, it doesn't generate any income when he flies his little personal airplane, okay. And he can never afford to buy a 747 and fly it for his personal joy, right?
Yep.
So for him to have fun flying a Boeing 747, he has to work for an airline by providing his expert service carrying fee-paying passengers from point A to point B, right? So apply this back to the IT world, right? If you just play with technology on your personal laptop, right, that's just a hobby, right? It doesn't pay the bills, and you're not gonna get to play any chance to play with any big systems. That's where all the fun is, right?
Sure.
So if you want to play with the big systems, if you want to earn the big bucks, right, you've got to provide your expert service to fee-paying customers by solving their problems, right?
Yes, absolutely
right.
Yeah.
So speaking of solving their problems, right? We all had, I'm going to turn the table again, right? We all had experience of hiring someone to solve all problems, all right? So here's an example. Let's say you've got a leaky pipe in your house, right? So you're going to hire a plumber, right? So we want our plumber to tell us, the root cause of the problem, how much money it will cost us to fix the problem, how long it will take to do the job. Can it be done right now, today, tomorrow, next week, right? Do we need to shut off the water to the house, the entire house, or just the kitchen, right? We don't care. We don't want to know if the plumber came here in a van or a pickup truck, right? We don't care if he drives a Toyota or a Ford, right? We don't care exactly how he arranges his tools and materials in the back of his truck. And we don't care what brand of tools he uses, right? But a lot of times, right, when we IT professionals, when we hear the word, you need to communicate, right? We immediately start talking about the brand of tools we use, right? The name of the programming language we use, the advantage of the programming language, and how cool our design look, and so on and so forth, right? This is caused, right, unintentionally by having a hobby mentality without realizing it, right? So as you advance your career higher and higher, right, you will start to notice, just like how we don't care, what kind of tools our plumber use, right? We only care about, how much will it cost and how big of a job is to fix the water leak, right? And those who pay us, higher up, right? They really care. They really want to hear, can we solve their problems, right? Can we make their pain go away, right? And can we make their lives more pleasant?
Yes.
Right? But it's actually never phrased. When they talk to us, it's never phrased in that way. But if you have enough insight, you will realize that's what they want.
Yeah. So it's all about the outcome.
Right. So speaking of running your career as a business, right? I mean, what exactly is a business, right? In a nutshell, right? It's solving problems for other people in exchange for a fee, right? That's just plain and simple, right? So it's all about finding what pain your customers want to avoid and what pleasure they want to seek, okay? And a lot of my clients ask, I am a technical expert. I just mastered some new technology. I should be given a new project, a new promotion, a new job. And, how am I supposed to know what problems other people are having and what pains to avoid, right? So in general, right, at a macro, MACR, at a macro level, right, everybody wants the same thing. They want food, shelter, safety, security, good health, friendship, love, family, children, etc., right? But at a macro, MICR, at an individual level, right, not everybody wants exactly the same set of things, right? So, for example, okay, a 95-year-old grandpa and a 5-year-old little boy, they're not going to want the exact same set of things, right? A 50-year-old chief technology officer is not going to be concerned about the exact same set of things as a 25-year-old engineer just came out of college, right? A lot of my clients, they're very passionate about the technology they work on, and they have trouble imagining what other people want. So I help them to figure out, what's going on here. I help them to make sense, what seems to be chaotic and confusing to them, and help them to figure it out and position themselves, and then to work out a strategy. And then I explain the principles behind the scene, and over time, so they learn my way of thinking and then gain the skills to understand people and business, so they can advance themselves. And I just want to throw in another counterintuitive example, right? You manager, right? Pretty much anyone or everyone up and down the entire corporate ladder, right, is supposed to present an image to those reporting to them that they have no problems. They know everything. They're in control, right? But if you think about it, right, if you really think about it, why is your manager earning a salary that's bigger than yours? Because your manager is hired and paid to solve bigger problems, right?
Yeah.
Bigger headaches, right? So your manager has problems. Your manager doesn't want to be seen as having problems, and your manager's problems are big. So if you can somehow figure out what your manager's problems are, either figure it out yourself or have someone help you to figure it out, right? Solve it for him or her, and do it with grace and tact, right? Without making them look bad in public, right?
Yes.
Your reward is going to be very, very handsome, my friend. Yeah. So to sum it up, right? It's a hobby, Manage a career. It's not a hobby. Manage a career as if you would manage a business.
Yeah, it's putting that level of professionalism into what you do, and not treating it, I suppose, as you put, as a hobby or a I say unprofessional or non-professional activity. It's changing your mindset, isn't it? It's about how you tackle the problems and approach what you're doing, and recognizing that you are delivering a service to somebody.
Right. And then once you make the big bucks on weekends, you can go enjoy your hobby.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you can go and fly your own plane.
Right.
Can you tell us about your worst IT career moment and what you learned from that experience?
This is really embarrassing.
Okay. They're usually the best stories.
And this happened, I have to say, okay, this happened more than 20 years ago when I was young and stupid, okay?
Okay.
Fresh out of university, right? And I was working for an IT consulting firm, okay? And this firm had a contract with the Australian Federal Department, a Department of Defense, okay? And they were going to upgrade hundreds of military bases, Air Force, Navy, Army, all over the country, okay? So I was sent to do an audit in an Army base, okay? In the middle of nowhere, outback, down under, right?
Yeah.
Don't ask me where the base is located because, I've sworn into secrecy, right?
Yes.
And I'm a dual citizen of both U.S. and Australia, okay? So in the outback in the middle of nowhere, right, in Army base, right, I spent an entire day working with a civilian contractor, okay? And he was directly employed by the Australian Army, okay? So really, he is the Army, right? And I'm the outside contractor consultant, And And this civilian contractor, he was 30 years older than me. Okay, so I was young, so I was looking up to him.
Yep.
Okay, but he had a negative attitude. He was pessimistic and he was defeatist, and he was also very charming on the outside. Okay, so he basically charmed me into his way of thinking. So by the end of the day, right, when we emerged from the server room, okay, he has completely charmed me into his way of thinking. Okay, I became just like him, negative, pessimistic, and defeatist, right?
Yep.
So when the managers from our company, right, asked me how I felt about their infrastructure and how I felt about this upcoming major upgrade, right, that we were hired to do, right, I was negative and pessimistic, about, how, they have all these old systems and so patchworks, you touch this one thing here, something will go terribly wrong over there. You know how IT is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like defeatist, okay? It's not the description of what's happening. It's my attitude, okay? What I didn't realize was, okay, the head of IT for this army base, okay, a gentleman who used to be a tank commander, right?
Right.
And he hated being accidentally called a tank driver, right? And his rank was a major, right? He was in his uniform, right? He was standing right there, right, 3 feet from me, and he heard my entire negative comment.
Yeah.
So I was really embarrassing my entire company in front of the client, okay?
Yes.
So, a week later, they called me and they really chewed me up over the phone. I had no idea. And I learned, thanks for this incident, right? I learned the following 3 things, right? Number one, of course, large IT projects can be complicated and hard, right? And that's also where the fun is. If it's easy, we'd all be unemployed. Anybody can do it, right? And number two, the business relationship, right? I was young and naive. I wasn't thinking, who has hired whom to deliver what? Who has promised whom what will be delivered, when, for how much money, right?
Yeah.
I was completely not thinking about any of those business relationships. And number three, of course, we will always run into people who are negative, right? Roadblocking, pessimistic, defeatist, and wanting to keep the existing legacy systems for their own job security or whatever their personal agenda, right?
Yes.
It's our job to overcome these obstacles. The technology part is fun and relatively easy, but being able to overcome obstacles is why we get paid for big bucks.
Yeah.
That was my profound revelation from the one stupid, young and naive incident.
Yeah, it is. I think it's something that people learn as they progress through their careers. That it's as much about relationships and communication as it is about the technology that you're implementing. So, yeah, that is a great lesson to pass on, definitely. So, moving on from your worst moment, can you share with us your IT career highlight or greatest success, and how you were able to achieve that?
I recently helped a client of mine to get a job, a $400,000 a year job.
Right.
Okay, long story short, right? So my client is this highly accomplished tech executive, right? He went for a job interview, right? He drove 3 hours out there for the job interview. And after 5 minutes, the chief technology officer told him to leave.
Oh.
And then he said, come back next Tuesday. And my client was really shocked, asked to leave after 5 minutes. And he was feeling really upset. And, he was like offended, right? I was like, what's going on, right? So he calls me on his way home, right? It's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I knew his confidence was shot, right? And I needed to boost his confidence, right? But I also knew, right, the least effective method, actually it's counterproductive, to boost someone's confidence is to do the following, right? Don't do this, right? So it goes like this. You lack confidence. You need to be more confident, right? The reason this is bad is because when they hear that, right, they feel, oh, I lack confidence. Therefore, I'm not good enough. And therefore, they will be feeling even less confident. So this is a very popular method, but it has the opposite effect of what you want to happen. Right? So I thought about his situation and I analyzed his situation, right? So I told him my analysis, and I knew my analysis will actually give him the confidence he needed. Okay? So I told him that. So this CTO who told you to leave in 5 minutes, right? You mentioned he asked you to come back next Tuesday. He said, yeah. I said, that's a very important piece of information. He did ask you to come back next Tuesday. Right? He was so angry that he completely forgot, right? And then he was like thinking not going back there next Tuesday, right? I said, listen. I said, this means a lot, right? This means that he wanted to meet you face to face in person in the same room, right? To get a feeling, to see what sort of person you are, right? And before he divulged some kind of a crucial information to you, okay, which he's going to do next Tuesday, right? And I'm also sensing this CTO, right? He wants and he needs something from you, something you have, something he knows you have, and something he doesn't have, and he needs it. And this means he is probably in trouble for not having it, right? And this means he's in more trouble than you. Okay? And this is how I boost his confidence, by making him understand that the guy who is holding the key to whether he's going to get a job or not is in more trouble than him, right? So I said that unless you can save him, right? Unless you can save him by giving him what you have and he doesn't have, right? And I said I'm pretty sure that he's probably waiting on an answer of some sort from somewhere between now and next Tuesday, which is probably next Monday. Whoever, they're going to make some decision over the weekend and they're going to inform him on Monday. So go back there on Tuesday, right? Make sure you go back there on Tuesday and he will tell you what he wants, all right? He's going to ask you. Whatever he asks, right, give it to him. Give it to him 110%. Whatever you have, just give it to him. Whatever he asks, right? You're going to make him very, very happy. That's what I told him, right? He calls me back Tuesday night, right? He calls me back Tuesday night. I can hear the excitement in his voice, right? He said, Michael, your predictions all came true. He said, I showed up this morning, right? And this CTO asked me about X, right? I told him everything I knew about X, what I've done with it, what went wrong, how I fixed them, yada, 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 the whole shebang, right? I gave him the whole load, right?
Yeah.
And the CTO was so happy. Right. He told me that this is what happened. He promised 6 of his customers, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 of his customers that he could deliver X. Right? And he was waiting on them to call back on Monday to say, yep, we're going to buy X from you. Right? So the answer came back on Monday and they're going to buy X from him. But the trouble is, he did not have X. Yes. So this is the classic story of he sold something he didn't have, but but he knew that my client had it.
Right.
So my client got the job, spent the rest of the day with HR doing all the paperwork, taking photos, getting the badge.
Yeah.
And then he told me the salary package, add up all the benefits and the stock options. It was like, oh wow, $400,000.
Yeah, I take it he took the job.
Yes, and he's been there ever since. And then I was so amazed at the innovation that he came up with over there. It was like, wow. Yeah, so it was a good thing that he went back there on Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so, yeah.
What one thing excites you about the future of a career in IT?
Well, for me, right, it's the potential for personal growth for people working in IT. That's what excites me. I think, okay, the IT field is the biggest meritocracy compared to any other industries or professions. We have the least amount of, you need to come from the right pedigree, right, in IT. So we have, compared to other professions, we have the most level playing field, right? We don't have the, how did you get to become president? Well, my dad was the president. We don't have those things.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people come from very humble beginnings and they apply themselves and they go all the way to the very top in IT.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I think the opportunities are there for everybody, and it doesn't necessarily matter what background you have. You have the opportunities. That's the great thing about a career in IT.
Yep.
It's time for the reveal round, which is a quick fire set of questions. So, what attracted you to a career in IT?
Everyone else in my family is a professional musician. My mom is a pianist. My dad was a composer, and they wanted to make a pianist out of me. And they succeeded. My little sister has a PhD in classical piano performance from the University of Southern California. But from a very young age, I did not want to spend the rest of my life practicing the piano 10 hours a day for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that wasn't for you.
No, I've always loved science, physics, and ever since I was a kid, all things electrical fascinated me because my dad was a musician, but he was into recording engineering. So he was playing with all this equipment, and those things fascinated me. And then just shy of 30 years ago, I was a teenager, and I saw the potential of computers in business and everywhere else. And I wanted to advance my own life. And I saw how being a professional in the tech field can catapult my life forward. So I went for a degree in computer science.
What is the best career advice you've ever received?
I will never forget this. I had a summer job when I was an undergrad, and then the owner of the business told me it's 30% technical knowledge and 70% your ability to deal with business and people. And it's been 30 years, or almost 30 years, and not a single day go by do I get a even deeper appreciation of the profound wisdom that's contained in that statement.
Yeah. You referred to it earlier. It's really about relationships and dealing with people as much as it is about IT and technology.
Yep.
If you were to begin your IT career again right now, what would you do?
Okay. I wouldn't not get a degree in computer science. So in addition to getting a solid computer science, I learned all the technical skills and all the things I did. In addition, I will learn to truly understand business and people, and I will start the learning process as early as possible. I would hire a mentor, a trainer, whatever the title is, a coach, a consultant, advisor, to teach me to understand business and people. It would have saved me so much pain and suffering and years of my life wasted on having to learn this stuff by making mistakes, looking like an idiot in front of the army major, and then getting chewed out by the management. It would have saved me so much trouble.
Yeah. What career objectives are you focusing on right now?
Oh, right now I'm focusing on helping as many tech professionals as possible, helping them to analyze the situation, helping them to learn to position themselves, helping them to work out strategies, helping them to learn to understand business and people, what makes people tick, so they can use the wisdom to help themselves, and then promote technical advancements, which benefits everybody. And it bugs me. Like so many innovative ideas die in infancy because because the inventor, the innovator didn't know how to promote their ideas and let others accept their new ideas. So it is my passion to help tech professionals to become more skillful at promoting their own innovations.
What's the number one non-technical skill that has helped you in your career so far?
Well, it's I hate to sound like a broken record. It's my understanding of how business operates in the wild west, also known as the real world, plus my understanding of people, their wants, their cravings, their desires, their fears, their frustrations, their loves, their hates, and then all of those that they're not explicitly expressing, but you have the insight to realize that's what they want and that's what they don't want.
Can you share a parting piece of career advice with the IT Career Energizer audience?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. A lot of tech professionals feel helpless and hopeless in their attempt to learn business, to understand people. Right? If we take a quick look of their situation, we will understand why they feel so frustrated. Right? Here's the situation. Right? We tech professionals, right? We have invested heavily in our tech skills. We want to do good work, right? And we're passionate about technology, and we focus on technology. And quite often, we're not aware of the business side of things, and we don't have any insights into, people and so on and so forth, right? And we're not getting a lot of help in this area either, right? Here's a sad situation, right? We provide technical support when others are in need of help. But when we are in need of help, right, there's no support, right? Yeah. Instead of helping us, they make TV shows making fun of us, laughing at us.
Yes.
And they make money from those TV shows. These people are having fun, based on our struggle, right? We do all the hard work, right? We're putting all these wonderful systems, right? When the systems are working, right? When they're working smoothly, people just take it for granted. When the system is down, we stay. We work 48 hours straight, no sleep, fix it until it's fixed, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, when we work 48 hours, no sleep, right? Fixing the system, right? They feel no empathy for us. For they're too busy, planning their weekend activities. They don't care about we stay in the server room for 2 days straight, right? They feel no empathy for us, yet they have the audacity to come lecture us that we need to learn to have empathy. So this constant put down without actual help can really make anyone feel hopeless. Okay, so this is why I think this podcast that you're doing is a giant step toward the right direction. It's time we help ourselves to learn to understand how business really operates in the real world and how people really are. Right?
Yeah.
And let me turn the table again. We all know people who are computer illiterate. Your grandma, your grandpa, right? And the thought of having to use computers can stress them out, right? But for us, right, as experts, right, we have no fear of any technical problems. Our attitude is, problems, bring them up. I'm going to have so much fun overcoming this new challenge, right? That's our attitude, right? But sadly, right, the same cannot be said if one lacks understanding in business and in people, right? You will always be worried and concerned and stressed about the upcoming meeting, the upcoming negotiation. You'll be worried about things like, what if my boss disagrees with me? What if I don't get this new project? What if I get fired? How can I get another job? Yada, yada, yada. The fear and the stress can overwhelm you, right? But if you learn to understand business and people, if you master this area of your life, right, what used to be a source of stress will become a source of joy. It's just like you with technology, right? You'd enjoy working with people, dealing with people, persuading people, and negotiating with people. It's just fun. It's just gonna be fun, like doing technical work. And here's a bribe. Here's a bribe. As the more capable, the more capable you become, the more capable you are in business and in people skills, the bigger the project will be given to you. The less capable you are with business, with people, the smaller the project will be given to you. You'll just be stuck in the cubicle doing the same thing and then get passed over for promotion. So the question is, what sort of a person are you? Are you the sort of person who avoids real life challenges? You let reality, the situation control your life and you just give up? You just, shrivel back into the cubicle and do the same work, entry-level programming for the next 40 years? Or are you the sort of person who will do whatever it takes, master whatever new skill sets are needed, are necessary, in order to overcome real-life challenges and obstacles and get what you want out of life? I mean, Phil is doing his part, doing this podcast, right? I'm here helping as many tech professionals as possible. Right? What about you? Are you gonna do what you need to do? Do your part to help yourself?
Yeah, no, that's a very valid point. So I think the whole career development and keeping yourself up to date and your skills and then developing not only your technical skills but your personal skills is all part of that. That is basically what will help you develop your career.
That's right.
So, Michael, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah, it's my fourth book. It's on Amazon. It's called Career Advancing Secrets for Tech Leaders: How to Turn the Table and Shift the Game in Your Favor. Yeah. And in the book, I go into a lot more details about how humans make decisions, how decisions are really made, and how to understand why other people, prefer certain things and not like other things, and how other people make decisions, and then how we need to use our logical understanding to understand other people's emotional desires and wantings, and then we can use that to help them to understand where we want them to go. So we can negotiate, persuade, and then you use this to promote technology to get other people to agree with you to do what you need them to do.
And finally, can you tell us the best way we can find out more about you and connect with you? Yeah,
on LinkedIn, and then I have my personal URL redirected to my LinkedIn. So if you go to www.michaellinconsulting.com, Lin is Lin, so michaellinconsulting.com, and that will redirect you to my LinkedIn, and then send me a connection request.
Michael, so thank you very much for being on the IT Career Energizer podcast today. It's been great talking to you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to the IT Career Energizer podcast. I really hope you enjoyed this week's great chat with Michael Lin. You'll find full show notes on the website, which is itcareerenergizer.com/E11. And while you're at the website, I'd really appreciate you leaving me any feedback you have about the podcast. The more I learn from you, the more I can improve the show. In next week's episode, I'll be talking with Gail Stafford, author of the book Getting Started in the Information Technology Field, with or without a technical degree. So until then, have a great week.
Thanks for listening to the IT Career Energizer podcast. To find out more about building a successful career in IT, visit itcareerenergizer.com.